Created Designs here, and today, of course, you guys will probably know what this looks like. Yes, it is an icon or an avatar for a team known as Obey. I'm just going to use the Obey one because it's really the only one that I really use. I don't use many other ones due to the fact that I'm in Obey. And also I make these for the Obey players and just for the hell of it. But a lot of people have been asking lately, and I'll bring up one of them that I have recently made. Let me bring up a good one. But for people that don't really know, one of the bigger things nowadays, shall I say, are icons or avatars that are customized and manipulated to look the way they are. Here's here's an example I made for Yuri, and there's a lot of them. And people that I would definitely say are the best at this are people like Ali, and that's really, or yeah, here's one I made for, it was just tech. This one's cool too, but yeah, Ali would be a really good one. Reflect and Wiz are pretty much the only guys I think that are pretty much the most insane icon makers out there. I think they make some insane stuff. So if you guys don't know who they are, of course you guys know who Ali is. Everyone knows who he is. He's a monster. But you guys should check him out and also check the other guys out. But I'm basically going to walk you step through step on my process and how I make them. So it'll basically be an avatar manipulation tutorial or custom avatar tutorial. So if you guys really can, if you enjoy this, like and comment, and if you don't, I'm sorry. But anyways, let's get started. So basically the first thing that I use, I'll zoom out right here for you guys, but anything that's really worth manipulating or worth adding or anything you could possibly do to cut out or anything character-wise. I use a bunch of sites. One of the best ones is Wallpapers Wide. You basically, I'll show you this out right here. Just this site. They have a bunch of different ones, and basically what you're going to want to do is, and this is before you even start anything, you're going to want to look for, if you're going to do a video game type thing, go for a video game type thing. If you want to manipulate, you go with, architecture, army, all this different stuff. And, of course, I'll show you, like, here's games. Like, this one will show all the different video games. You can manipulate within all of them. And I personally love, doing anything possible. So what I found here is I found a sword. Some sort of sword. I think it's Zelda, but, it's a newer version of it, so it can't really kind of, that's the Triforce, so I'm guessing. But anyways, the point of it is what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, so say right here, my thought automatically is what I do is I bring the wallpaper itself before I manipulate anything into the icon and or the avatar, template or whatever it is. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so what do I want to do to make this icon cool? What would be a cool idea? So one of the coolest ideas I just came up with in my head is having the sword stab into the actual Obey logo. And I think that'd be kind of cool. It's pretty basic, and I'm going to basically show you my ways to do it. So of course you got to make sure the size is right, and you pull it behind, and make sure that the logo itself captures some sort of essence, and has the feel of what you're trying to portray in your actual design. So what I did here is before I did anything, so I can cut this tutorial a little bit shorter, I cut this sword out already. Now, for instance, if you were to use, I'll grab a wallpaper real quick. Oh, I'm sorry, I went on Twitter. Wallpapers Wide, and we'll say, hold on. It's a cheap way to do it, but you got to start off with some sort of character or whatever. So hypothetically, say you're going to want to do something like this, The Division. So here's a wallpaper. It's going to make me download it real quick. So let me just click on this. Oop. You're going to want to try to find something that's around 1920 by 1080. It usually means it's high def. Let this download real quick. Show in Finder. Alrighty. Oh, lag. Sorry about that. We're going to just drag this into Photoshop. All right, so here's your paper, your wallpaper. Of course, you're gonna probably. I mean, these are all part of Wallpapers Wide, so there's gonna have their little branding down here. But anyways, so it's hypothetically, here's your paper. Now, what you're gonna want to do here, in my thought, and what I would do is I'd cut out this first character, and I would cut out the top of this roof and have him kind of like have the logo, and then him covering a side of the logo. And I'll show you what I mean when I get in there. So we're gonna take a so hypothetically, now that you have, your logo or whatever cut out, whatever it is, you're going to want to make sure you don't just cut it, cut it right out of the background. Like, as you can see, I just duplicated what it is. So I still have it, just so I have room to mess up. So you want to duplicate whatever you cut out. So we're just going to drag this into the Obey logo itself. And we're going to size it to a pretty decent size. Anything, I'd have to say around a little bit bigger here. Because I can fudge it if I really wanted to. So what we're going to first want to do is you're going to want, now in this instance, I did not separate this. So what I'm going to actually do before I do anything is I'm going to come back into here. I'm going to zoom into about 300, and I want to make sure that these are two separate pieces. Of course, you guys can kind of see that they're two separate pieces. I'm going to make sure that they are, just so I can edit both of them at at two different times. It's going to be very, very tough to get this perfectly. If I don't, it's not a big deal. I can always. Okay, so let me just. We're gonna make the selection, and I'm just gonna cut this. So cut this out. All right. So once again, what I have is here for people that are still a little confused. Cut your guys out, whatever it is, and you're going to want to have whatever you have, make sure you make them their own layers so they're editable, and copy them. Don't cut them out of the original wallpaper. So once again, move it into our beautiful icon or avatar, PSD, template, whatever you want to call it, and you're going to want to, we're going to have an essence of the sword actually jabbing into the Obey logo itself. So I don't like how that looks, so I'm going to pull this up a little bit more, and I'm going to. That looks a lot better. So what I'm going to do here is the backing. Of course, we're going to keep it there. It's going to stay there. Don't worry. But what I'm going to do here is to give it the essence. Actually, hold on. I might actually bring this up. Yeah, that would look a lot better that way. Maybe not. Maybe bring this up. Nope, this will work. It'll work perfectly. But anyways, so what we're going to want to do is you're going to want... I actually might want to resize this, guys. See, it's a lot of planning ahead before you just do anything, because you really don't want to screw it up. And we're going to manipulate this. Now, this is that's the whole point of this tutorial. It's kind of a manipulation type tutorial. That's kind of not. You use a little good, good techniques for it, and you don't. I mean, it's just it's perfect. So what we're going to do here is, as you guys can see, we have a beautiful, this cool rock that it's kind of in. So of course we want to give it that feeling of, of course it's still part of whatever this is. So I'm gonna don't worry about it. I'll come back to it. I know it looks a little weird, but I'm going to come back to all of this. I'm gonna make sure that this is behind the text, of course. So we're gonna focus on the sword here. So the sword, of course, there's one behind and there's one in front. So in order to basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to cut parts of it out. So the only parts we really want it to be seen is we want it to be seen right here. We don't really care for this area. So we're going to make this, drop the opacity, and we're going to cut the part we don't need. So this is around the parts we don't really need. And we cut that. And it's kind of got that feel still. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually, once again, you can use a brush or you can use a burn tool. I prefer either one. Doesn't really matter. I don't know why that's such a huge burn tool, but we're just going to burn this in to make it kind of give it the feel that it is. Oh, here we go. Alright, so anyways, as I was saying, you're going to want to just create a new layer. If the burn tool doesn't do it for you, we're going to give it even more of a feel. But we're going to go with some sort of brush, and we're going to just make it black. Oh, we're going to go with this, make it black. Kind of, once again, cut off what we don't need. And it kind of gives it the effect that it actually is coming. And if you're coming through the O, as you guys can see. Pretty cool in my opinion. Up to you guys, what you guys think. Anyway, so what we're going to do here, actually, what I'm going to do 100% is I'm actually going to bring these two things down. No, I'm actually not. I'm going to keep that there. Anyways, so what we're going to do here is we're going to now kind of, I want to give it the feel that it's part of this emerald type thingy here, but but at the same time I don't. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut it halfway like this and kind of actually I'm just going to use a brush because it feels the best. You just kind of erase this area and kind of give it that feel that it is going through the stone or this, whatever you want to call this. But yeah, so anyways, we're going to also use the clone stamp. Clone stamp is awesome for, giving the effect that there's something there, even though there's not. You kind of just can clone anything that you see in here. Let's see how this looks. I kind of like this, to be honest. Let's see how this looks from further distance. I like that. I think it's cool. It kind of has a fall off right here. And we're going to add another black feel to it again. You're going to be doing this an awful lot. You're going to want to take the opacity down a little bit. Part of the reasons that you use the black brush instead of a burn tool is because it gives it more of a realistic feel. For people that don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's altogether, it's an awesome, cool, 100% feel flow to it. But what we're going to do here, actually, and this is another way you guys can get away with this. I'm going to bring this back, just another kind of green feel to it behind everything. Kind of like right here. Give it like, I feel like there is more stone almost. Kind of like that. Yeah, that'll kind of work. And then we're going to take this clone stamp tool, get this background, get it out in front of here still. Kind of bring down this whole thing up in here. And see how it just legitimately just clones everything right here. And that's what I really like about it. Just kind of clone this over here. Take all of this and just kind of, you know, clone it. Give it that feel that there is supposed to be something there. Once again, with fonts, I personally would go with the vibe of however everything kind of feels. So of course in this piece, everything kind of feels like it's very, you know, greenish, black. So of course I'm going to add a nice green to this background. Maybe 10. And you just, you know, it's kind of what you're going to want to do right now. But what else we're going to want to do is we're going to want to also really work on this logo as well. So in order to use this logo, we're going to get a dark green. And we're going to add like a wall type texture. I have a brush that is like a wall. It should be my pack that you guys, you know, should have. If you guys don't have it, it was my most recent pack. And you kind of just want to screw around with the look of it. You know, darker. You know, just feel it out. Completely up to you guys on this. You know, give it that light feel. Ooh, that color burn kind of looks cool. The multiply looks awesome. I'm actually going to do a color burn down here. And you guys can kind of see how this all ties into this logo. What we're going to actually do here is I kind of want to feel like this is just too much. So I'm going to erase a little bit more of this. Kind of go with maybe how it's stabbed in it, and this is all right here. Or what if I did something like this? Nope, that's not what I want. I kind of like this feel real quick. Hold on. We're going to just kind of cut this right here. This little part of it. And then once again, we're going to take our black brush, kind of give it that more of a, kind of, it's growing type thing. Oh man, that is way too big of a black brush. And my mouse goes out again. Oh, and we closed it. Sorry, accidentally. But yeah, we're gonna go and do 50 pixels. Oh, I'm sorry. Once again, all over the place right now. But yeah, we're gonna just add this black feel to it again. And we're going to, whoop, not delete the path. Delete parts of it. We'll get a little bit less of an intensity on that. And then, to get even more detailed, I'm actually going to create a new layer, and I'm going to use the clone stamp again, and I'm going to start making it look like the rock itself actually kind of growing on the sides of this logo. And basically what you're going to want to do is you hold Alt, click on a side you want, and kind of just build it the way so it blends, kind of. We're going to do it on both sides. But actually, I think this is where... Yep. And we're going to kind of... It's going to kind of look like the logo itself is kind of being held up by this emerald type thing, or kind of deep in this emerald, and I like that. And lastly, we're going to add the cool type of text. And the text really doesn't matter, guys. On this type of thing, I would do, you know, something really weird, ancient type look. Completely up to you. Like, this would go Triforce. And you kind of just, like on this, this layer style is horrible, so do not, don't use that layer style. Actually, I don't even really like this font I'm using. There we go, that's a little bit better. This layer style, we're going to just completely change this around. We're going to take off the inner glow. We're going to reset this to default, pull the harden all the way up. And on this, we're going to bring this to a bring this down to like, actually we're going to make it a little bit more green. And you kind of want it just all to flow. And then is everyone's favorite part, is the color correction. Now you can add color correction to this all you want. Completely up to you. I mean, it's more or less kind of just what you feel is better. Completely up to you guys, though. So, I mean, if you guys want to add like a green feel to it, so we'll just take this, add this to make it like some sort of green. Make it a little bit more of a yellowish green, though, because I like that. And you're just going to switch it to overlay, loosen up the feel of it. And then I add a photo filter, maybe like a really, really light orange, and that's really about it. So, of course, guys, if you guys like these and you want me to do some more, maybe on like character ones, please leave a like and a comment. Tell me what you guys think, and please, thank you guys so much for 40,000 subscribers, and